Welcome to Hellebore Lane. It's been about a month since we closed and we were gone for the last 3 weeks. So we are now filming this before video. Unfortunately, we've already done some demos, so you'll kind of see the current state that it's in, but I thought it'd be nice to at least get through a before video. So this is the entryway. This is probably one of the nicer parts of the house. We love the arched doorways and the stairwell, the curved rail, and the kind of, just like all of the elements in this room we have no problems with for the most part, except for maybe this guy that is gonna have to get replaced. Something a little more our taste. And this is the living room. So at first I didn't mind the green, but it really does make this room extremely dark, and this room doesn't get a ton of light because there's only this one large window, which is mainly facing trees. So I think we are going to turn this to a more like pale, creamy, like, I wouldn't call it gray, but maybe like definitely something lighter. Haven't quite decided, but it's going to be lighter in here. The floors are going to get refinished. I'm curious to see what they will look like after a good sanding. I just am mainly always trying to get rid of like the redness in the floors. The fireplace, I would love it to, I'm not sure, but it would be nice if this weren't so tall and this thing could like be more proportionately lower, given that the ceilings are not that tall. It would be nice to kind of bring that down. And then there is this room. This is the sunroom, or l'orangerie, if you will. I don't know what our plans are for this yet. There used to be nice beams on the ceiling, and I wonder if I would consider putting that back. The floor is quite damaged. There was a situation over here that I don't need to get into, but I would have loved to refinish this floor in concrete or some sort of like, just like a very cool, like simple concrete. But apparently that will be actually quite tricky because there is plumbing, and then there's these two radiators that are like bolted to the ground. So doing a full floor replacement here is a little trickier than I would want it to be. It's a little sad because if you see the way that these windows are, that used to be on this side. But because the previous owner used this as a separate business, they had another entry point put. And I don't love how these doors look much more modern compared to the little older style windows that were in here. So I don't know if like this will happen in the first phase or a second or third phase, but we were thinking about kind of mirroring this back in that section over there. So that's that. Across from the living room is the formal dining room, which is painted as well in this kind of, I don't even know how to call this shade of blue. It's kind of like Scandi-ish. I mean, I don't mind it either, but I also think it would be nice to kind of make this a little more neutral as a starting point, and then maybe choose a more bold color later. This is gonna have to go. I will probably need all new furniture for this space because my dining table would look teeny tiny in here. Just the proportions would not be quite right. I do love the bay windows in here. Or is this even a bay window? I don't know, but slightly bay window-esque. We will also probably refinish the floors here. I'm not entirely sure what happened over there where it got really dark, but hopefully a refinishing will help even this out. And then through here, we have one of the most problematic rooms, which maybe you guys can offer some, not advice, but feedback. We are gonna redo this kitchen eventually. So what happened was, like, the previous owners removed this room. This room used to be another, like, breakfast nook, like a less formal dining room. This was closed off here, and I think it went to about here. Probably before that's the door to the basement. So I think the original room was here. So there was a whole nother room over here, and then the kitchen was this space over here, which, yes, granted it's small, it was smaller, but it made a lot more sense functionally, and it just filled the space better. Now we have this, like, very strange gap here, which is not quite wide enough for an island, but too big to look right in terms of, like, composition and just, like, proportions. Before, there also used to be, this used to come out here, and there was like a oven range over here or something. This window didn't exist, I think. I'm pretty sure this window got put in. We're, like, half considering closing up this door so that there can be a more, like, I don't know, corner or something over here. Not entirely sure.
We also want to get rid of the washer dryer that they installed onto the kitchen.
Yeah, like, seeing this from the kitchen is just not it. Yeah, so the other thing that drives me nuts is, like, the finish on these. Yeah, this is just very not me. And obviously these cabinets are just...
The fact that they...
And, like, this isn't flush, like, that thing is wildly not flush with the thing. Like, how crazy is this? This is not centered along this space between these two windows. So that drives me mad, but hopefully that can get fixed easily. Part of the house has, like, the older windows, and part of it has these newer ones. So it's something just, like, doesn't feel quite right. I've kind of thought about maybe just making this whole volume a, like, longer cabinet situation where there's almost like a false panel to lead, so that you can still get to the basement. Like, it would just be something that cleans up this entire volume by being, like, one whole thing. Or we were thinking about maybe building, like, a built-in banquette over here. So then there'd be, like, an island that comes, not an island, but like an L. I hate L-shaped kitchens, but it might have to happen here. An L here, so, like, the top of the island would then be the back of the banquette, like if their banquette was here. So I don't know. I need some interior designers' help. All right, so we are heading into the basement now, and a little more background on the house. This house was built in 1925. There was only one owner up until 2020, when it turned over to the previous owners. We're the third homeowner. So this is the basement. We have not figured out what we're gonna do here. We are gonna remove this carpet though, and hopefully kind of evaluate what caused this water damage. Still trying to figure out all the light switches. So they left a lot of stuff in here. A lot of cleaning supplies and tools and shelves, which I guess could be useful. In here, there's a lot of original things. There is a toilet in here, which doubt anyone will be using that.
There is a safe.
There's this massive safe. I'm not entirely sure what they used to store in here, but I do like the style of these cabinets, like how they are flush, which is kind of nice. Like, yeah, I have, like, what do you store down here? Who knows? But there's a lot of storage. All right. What else? On this side, this side is pretty much just an empty room. If we wanted to move that other washer dryer down here, like we're kind of thinking about it and maybe just trying to make this room a little more inviting so that doing laundry is not so scary. So this hilarious little powder room, which has some of the original wallpaper and tiles and floor. So that strange cutout in the tile, apparently there used to be a mirror there. I'm not sure why it was removed, but that's why there's missing tile there. I find this room kind of charming and probably won't touch that too much. There's also, I don't know if it makes sense to show this. There's also only one closet on this floor, which is like not ideal. I would love if there was room to create like a mud room or some sort of entryway, but alas. Okay, shall we go upstairs? Also, how crazy is this? I cut these hellebores from the front lawn on April 13th, and it's a month later and they're still alive, which is kind of crazy because I feel like cut hellebores from the New York flower market last like 48 hours. Okay, so we are on the second floor, which has all of the bedrooms. This first one, try to make it a little brighter in here. You can kind of see the carpet that we ripped up. It was this like navy, white, red situation. And we've already ripped that up. We will definitely paint this room as well. We want to take this down. That bed used to be here. I guess this built-in has been here for a while, but we kind of want to get rid of it because it's just, again, it's just not us. And what else in here? These wall sconces and pendants need to go. Okay, there's a closet there. Not entirely sure what this room will become yet. There's like a linen closet here. So this next room, Taylor and I kind of disagree about what to do with the wallpaper because he quite likes it. And like, I'm not opposed to the idea of having wallpaper in this room, but maybe just not this particular pink floral one. I mean, it's pretty nice. It is like hand painted, but there was green carpet here, like very old green carpet, which we've already ripped up. And the next task will be to remove the wallpaper in this room. Yeah, I do love these old shutters. I wish the windows were in a slightly better condition. Like these are, I don't even know when this was last painted, but it looks pretty cracked. All of the baseboards are cracked, like we're not sure if we want to just get rid of them or, I mean, yeah, in my ideal world, there would just be like no baseboard at all and it would just have this slight, tiny little shadow gap to look the cleanest, but it might not make sense in a 1925 home. Oh. Ah, yes, the Jack and Jill bathroom. This one is interesting, especially the choice of shower curtain. You know, see, it just screams us, I think. And
at least there's a window in the bathroom.
there is a window in the bathroom, so that's quite nice. I think all of the bathrooms, minus the weird toilet in the basement, have windows in them. So that's kind of a nice feature of older homes. This room, good Lord. This room had this crazy grass cloth wallpaper, which I don't know how long that was on. And then there were these really old shelves and cabinets here. So we've already removed all that. Uh-oh. There we go. It's pretty dark in here. So this room kind of makes sense like as a media room. I think the very first owner had it as an office and the second owner had it as a media room with a TV and like a couch. So maybe we would do a media room. I guess it's nice because it's so dark in here. You don't have to worry about like reflections on your TV, or if we want to do a projector, it would definitely be dark enough in here. That room will probably, I mean, obviously you can see the floor needs to get sanded. It's been painted black and a lot of the plaster needs to get fixed. I think we might just end up like dry walling
Or
sheetrock over the plaster because it is quite damaged. There was clearly a lot of water damage on that wall. All right, the other eyesore of the place. And this is the primary bedroom. We've already taken out what was like, there was a shit ton of carpet in here as well. And you'll see that it's now still sitting in here because we have to hire someone to haul all of our trash away. There was also this like closet system cabinet thing that was also not very much our aesthetic, so that had to go. And the reason the floor is different here is because previously there was actually 2 closets here. And it was quite nice because like you walked in here, you had the bathroom here, and there were like 2 normal closets here. There was another entry to the bedroom here. So the bedroom really didn't start until here, which made it proportionally a lot nicer. And then there was a complete wall of like beautiful closets over here that got ripped up. And the original closets had like a really nice design to them, like this very pretty doors and floral motif on them. We actually found some of the doors in the garage closet, so maybe we can kind of repurpose them, or I don't know if they're in good enough shape to put back as closet doors, but we definitely want to simplify this again. Not sure if we're gonna do full closets on this side, or if we kind of make this whole thing, this whole like runway here, a closet. There is a closet over here already, like an existing one, an original one. But if there's a way to somehow make a wall here and then closets here, so it's like you walk from one of the bathroom doors to a closet, and then the bedroom is on the other side. And for me, I always like having the bed perpendicular to the window. So ideally, yes, there would be some sort of wall here, whether it goes full or is like partial, and then the bed could be more in the middle of the room, which I think proportionally would fill it out way better than having it stuffed over here and then having like so much space over there. So this is still very much a work in progress. Okay, so the primary bathroom is pretty charming. However, the sink is a very bizarre height. Like, it's low for me, and I'm very petite. So even when for me to like use the sink, it feels like I have to really bend over. And I don't know how Taylor's gonna use the sink, so I'm trying to figure out what to do about this. But anything, like the other parts of this, like I really love this. This medicine cabinet is quite nice. It's pretty sizable, and I love like the wear and tear on this frame. So if we were ever to like completely got rid of this bathroom, maybe like this mirror would be the only thing that gets put back. I mean, I love the style of the sink, but it's just functionally not the greatest. Like this is also really close to the to the basin, so it's just an very awkward to use.
Point that out.
There's also a lot of what we call in the photo world shitty rigs in this space, and this is one of them. I think we suspect that because there was a leak with the HVAC and they had to drain the condensation, they ended up putting this pipe in the ceiling, and yeah, instead of properly figuring out how to like hide it in an aesthetic way, we get this. So a lot of shitty rigs to undo. There is a walk-in shower here, which is a little small, but you know.
It's a black hole because there's no light on.
Hold on. Okay, so here is the shower, which is a little small, but it'll suffice for now. I do quite like that little arched niche in there. That is one nice thing. Also, these lights are so hot. They're like tungsten or something. You turn them on for like 2 seconds and it feels like 100 degrees up here. So I don't know if they can be converted to like LEDs or something, but it is hot. So that's pretty much it for the 4 rooms on this floor. And then there is another floor. The ceilings are really low on this floor, so tall friends beware. For me, it's like, okay. This first room is actually a lovely little cedar closet. I joke that this would make a great sauna. If I could somehow turn this into a sauna, it's like already halfway there. But otherwise, I think it'll be nice for storing like seasonal things, especially all my winter stuff. Here is another bathroom. This one is, cute. Also, the sink is also bizarrely low in this. I'm like, were the sinks was the standard lower? Very strange. There is a freestanding tub in here. And it's unfortunate that the floors are not like real tile. They're just like that linoleum thing. So this room is a very sweet room. Could be a lovely guest room, I think. I imagine like the bed over here and like a little dresser. Both of these closets became unusable because when they installed central air, this got put in here. So they lost a lot of room. I think that this used to be part of the room, and it probably was pretty big back then.
There you go.
Yeah, so originally this room had a lot of windows. It had that window, it had the window that got blocked there, and it had this window. But again, because of central air, we have lost it. Overall, though, this floor is quite charming. This room has a lovely little arched door. And yeah, this could be another whatever room, hobby room, another guest room, just like a reading nook. Not sure yet. And this room still has 2 proper closets, although there's nothing in them, like no bars or anything. So that's pretty much much the gist of the house. I've also been printing out these inspiration photos, which some of these I feel like are delusional because we just don't have that kind of space or floors, but it's nice to just kind of make believe and picture what this could become. All right, we're gonna take a quick peek at the outdoors. So since we got back, we realized like things have sprung. Things have full on not only sprung, but are already falling. So like a whole cycle has happened while we were gone. There are a lot of weeds that I will have to deal with at some point. I'm so sad about this. These were peonies and I think I missed them while we were traveling. There's two remnants. Hopefully next year there will be more than two. My plan is to maybe start a produce garden in this general vicinity. Over here I think should get decent sun throughout the day. This plot is 0.84 acres, so it ain't small. We also found out we have a groundhog who lives in the back over there, and I'm gonna have to really protect the garden and do a lot of preemptive protection. I've basically been Google image searching every plant and tree on the property to see what's out here. Okay, the other crazy thing about this property is there is a basically abandoned 2-bedroom situation on top of the garage. We can go look at it. It is quite horror film-like and it smells like cat piss. The reason it's kind of a mess in here is that this was all in our storage unit and we didn't want to keep paying for storage, so we moved it over here. A lot of this stuff was left from the previous owner as well. It would be amazing if at some point we could install like a gym in here, but it's going to require a lot of work. All right, shall we go look at the scary, potentially haunted space? Shall we? I really wish there were photos or something to show what this space once was in its prime, because it clearly has not been that way for a very, very long time. And I would love to have seen it. We kind of just want to like take this down, strip it down to its bones, the studs, and kind of just have it open for possibility. Because I don't really know what, it's not like we need more bedrooms. And we're not exactly in a place where people want to like Airbnb a guest space. But it is quite sizable up here.
And also this situation over here.
Yeah, wild.
Stuff of nightmares.
What was here?
Closet.
This is basically the size of like a New York City bedroom. Like you could fit a twin size bed in here probably. So one of my favorite parts about this house is actually the row of hellebores on the outside. It's kind of this entire stretch. And I think this variety just must be much hardier because again, the cut ones last for so long. And these aren't as, maybe they're not as pretty or delicate as the creamy ones. I know I've gotten like cream colored ones and like the really dark purple ones, but I'm I think they're still quite nice. I really just want to throw wildflower seeds and see if I could get like a little patch, but apparently it's harder than it seems. Thank you for watching this far, and hopefully you'll follow along for more DIY updates and not DIY updates, and hopefully we'll have some progress to share soon.